now, so now we're going to talk about flyers. So I go here back to the home page. I'm going to click Marketing and My Flyers. All right. So I'm at the Marketing tab here, and I'm at My Flyers. I click My Flyers. You won't have anything in here unless you set up flyers with me last week. Okay. So right here is all my previous flyers, and it's sorted by the most current one created. So this is one I just did a few hours ago. All right. And these over here are ones I did last week in the platform. If I want to create a new flyer, I'm going to click on the button that says New. There's just 3 things I need from you to make this flyer happen. The first thing is the name of the flyer. So I'll put Steve's Open House for Saturday. Let's say I'm going to sit one of Steve's open houses on Saturday. I need the MLS number. Okay, I start to type in the number and it comes right up. Really, really nice. It pops right up. If I don't have the MLS but I have the address, you can also use the address. I will tell you that the address can be a little finicky sometimes with things like, 1 space First Ave, those kind of things where in the database it's not exactly like you're typing it in. This one probably would have worked out fine if I just started typing in 2134 Northeast, whatever, it would have popped up. But here, MLS number always pops up. I click that. Then all I need to do is, as I scroll down here, I need to pick my flyer sample. Okay, which template do I want? So I like this one in the upper left-hand corner. I click on that, and I click Save and Close. So literally, I can be in and out of that page in 10 seconds, right? I name the flyer, I drop in my MLS, I pick the flyer. Now I'm done. All I have to do now is go take a look at the flyer, make any adjustments I want to, and print. So I click here to View Flyer. When I do that, it creates the flyer on the fly for me. Okay, let me walk you through this. If it's not just listed, I can just highlight that, and I could say open this Saturday, if I could spell. Here, if I want to play with the pictures a little bit, let's say I want to do the last picture as this primary, I just flip through. You can see here this little controller pops up, and I can flip through the photos. Where are these photos coming from? They're the highest resolution photos that I have access to coming from RMLS or Willamette Valley or Northwest MLS. So that's where they come from. So some of these have this space top and bottom, which kind of stinks, but it is what it is, right? And so if I scroll down here, you can see I can flip through my other images and come to an image that I like, right? If I down here, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of weird with that capital T, I can just erase it and hit the regular T. You can see it's branded to me, even though I just went and grabbed this listing out of RMLS, so I have no clue who really owns this listing. So obviously we're trusting here that you guys are not going to go create flyers for $3 million Keller Williams listings down the street, right? If it's yours, then you're good to go. So I can look through here in the descriptions. I will say a lot of descriptions are longer than what I have space for. So if you need to get rid of a chunk, you can just highlight it, hit delete, and then I can add my own text here too. Okay. Here, if I don't want people to say that it was built in 1890, then I can just delete that. I can go down here, see the price, make sure everything's good, and I'm good to go. So at that point, I just save my flyer. I click on Save, Records Updated. Now, if I want to print this flyer, I click on Print. It takes a couple of seconds to churn, and then it opens up a high-res PDF right here on my desktop, and I can just print it from here. If I'd like to email it to, let's say, a local printer, or maybe to my office admin, because I don't know how to use the office printer, then you can go ahead and click on Email, and then it will attach a high-res PDF to an email and send it to whoever you want to send it to. It opens up an email. You have to put in who you would like to receive it. It can be anybody, right? Just a valid email address. It attaches a high-res PDF, and then from that PDF they can print from there. So again, this is exactly what it is. It's exactly what it was meant to be. Hold on one second, everybody. I think I've got some people unmuted. I'm going to make sure everybody. So this is exactly what it's meant to be. It's not going to give you four-page flyers. We don't have any double-sided flyers. This is meant to be a quick and simple flyer builder that you can brand to anybody you want to, right? Number one. And number two, you can brand to anyone you want to, and you can create it literally at 4:45 and be done at 4:47, right, and out the door. So, okay, so that's the flyer builder. When I click save, everything is saved. It's good to go. Records updated. Now I go back to my flyers, and you can see it's right here. Steve's open for Saturday. It's saved with my changes, and I am all set. So that's all you've got to do. So there's a couple of questions coming through. Let me jump through those, and then we'll need to move to the open house registration form as well. So Charlene, can we use an MLS number that's in progress to start out the flyer? This is currently only pulling from active listings, so I don't believe that we get enough information from RMLS, because if it's in progress, RMLS will not send, to my knowledge, they will not send it to us in the RETS feed until it goes active. So no, I don't think that we can do that. Lorianne asks, is there an easy way to fix a distorted profile photo on the flyer? Yeah, so if your profile photo is distorted, then jump back into your profile, right, upper right-hand corner, go to your profile page, open up the photo, and recrop it. The best resolution kind of cropping is 3:2, right? So 2 wide, 3 tall. You'll see that ratio on the cropping tool. It'll auto crop it for you to 3:2. That is by far the best. If it's still distorted, and I saw some last week that came in very distorted from the Delta system, then definitely upload a new one, crop it to 3:2, and you should be golden. So some people did see weird looking images on there, and I totally understand why. Re-upload that photo and crop it to 3:2. You should be great throughout the site. Keep your head kind of in the center section, because we do have some templates that have circles as opposed to squares. Okay. Lorianne says there's not an option for 3:2. Let me look at that real quickly. Let me check. Real quickly, Michael says, when you're editing a flyer, there's a back button if you made a mistake while editing. If it's just one mistake, Control-Z will change that last mistake, but it edits on the fly. So you can always not save it, right? So you can always just choose not to save it and then start over the editing, but it's so simple that you could just start over again, right? But Control-Z will undo your last change. All right, let's take a look at our profile photo real quickly. So if I go down here to the profile photo and I click on the crop tool, here we go. I've got 4:3, 6:4, 16:9, 3:4. You know what? I said 3:2. I am so sorry, Lorianne. I meant 3:4. My bad. That's going to be on recording for life, right? So I click on 3:4 right there. That's exactly where I want to be. I can move it around this way and just kind of go to my head, but that would be a little bit too close. So I can kind of go out to this range right here again, and then just click it, it locks it, and then down here is save. You may have to scroll down a little bit to see the save. I apologize for 3:2. All right, save and close. Let's go to the open house registration form. I know I'm going through a lot very quickly, but I will say that the nice thing is that all of this is going to be recorded. You can come back next week. Give me 2 seconds to pause. I'm going to stop the recording so we can have just a flyer, and then start the recording up again for open house. All right, so we want to take a look at open house registration forms. Here's what this is for. If you're sitting in an open house, the biggest kind of, I don't want to say problem, right? But the biggest piece of forgetfulness in an open house is getting your prospects that come in into some sort of a CRM and following up with those people, right? Let's say you have 7 people that come to the open house. You've had them sign in on a spiral notebook. You forget what house it was. You never get around to putting them in the system. You don't know what to send them in the first place, right? Let's digitize that process and automate a little of it. And that way you've got more leads coming in the system, right? So open house digital registration. All this is a form that's going to sit on your laptop. So when you are at the open house, you can set up your computer at the kitchen countertop. You can say, hey, do you mind signing into my open house? It's a really simple form. And then it kind of does a whole bunch of magic after that. So let me show you how to do that. So let's assume that I am at an open house. I have come here. I have logged in the system. Obviously, I need to be on Wi-Fi, but all of your phones have Wi-Fi hotspots, right? And most people's homes that are populated will have Wi-Fi you can jump onto. I'm going to go to marketing and then down to open house registration. I click open house registration and another form pops up. This is the form you need to tell me what house you're sitting, because I'm going to attach that MLS number to all of the leads that come in for this open house. So again, just give me the MLS. So I type in the MLS number, the one that I just had, right? The same one I built a flyer for, so it doesn't have to be one of your listings. You can be sitting in anyone's open house. I click it, and I click open form. Now I've got my form. So this form will sit on your laptop or your tablet. It works great on a tablet. And if someone comes in, you just nicely ask, hey, do you mind signing in to my open house? Sure. So we sign in. You know, give them the phone number. You get the idea. How did you hear about this open house? A friend. Please give me some feedback. I would like to offer $2 million. Are you working with another agent? This is nice, right? If the person clicks yes, then we ask them, who's the other agent, right? Which is great because then you can make a contact with another agent and say, hey, your buyer or seller or whatever came into one of my open houses and they seem to really like it, love to make a deal. So once this is done, they click submit. When they click submit, the form just reloads blank so the next person can come and sign in. So what happens to that lead? That lead goes into your CRM. Okay, so remember we were in contacts and leads earlier. Okay, in fact, let me show you where they go. So we were here in contacts and leads. They will go directly into accepted leads. Okay, I'm going to show you that they came in from an open house sign-in form. And when you go and take a look at that actual specific lead, you'll be able to see that they filled out an open house registration. Oh, this one actually did. Heard about it from a friend. This house is nice. This was just a test that we had going, but you get the idea. And so they will get a nice email that says, hey, thanks for coming to my open house. Here's a picture of the house you were at. If I can do anything in the process for helping you buy or sell real estate, please don't, be afraid to ask. Okay? So they get a nice thank you email, picture of the house. They're going to get that email. It's very nondescript. They're going to get that email whether they're working with another agent or not, because it's just a thank you for registering, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But then from here on out, any communication that you want to give them is going to be up to you. So what's some things you could do from here? Well, you can really easily just click appointment, and you could just drop something on your calendar that reminds you to call this person in 3 weeks. Or you could add a note. Hey, I remember this person really liked the bathroom. I should send them some saved search results of really nice bathroom homes, right? You could drop them on some marketing, right? You could just click marketing and then drop them on a nice market report for that specific area. All sorts of stuff that you can do then to market, and those things you'll kind of find out as we go along in the other CRM pieces. So that's the open house registration. So open house registration, again, what do? We go marketing, we go to open house registration, we drop in our MLS number, and then we just put the form up there. Listen, it's not magic, right? If you don't get any visitors for 3 hours and your computer goes to sleep, you'll need to wake your computer up, and when you do, you'll need to re-log into the platform because you lost internet connection, right? Those are just logical things, but don't get mad at the form when you try and do that and the form doesn't work properly because you're no longer hooked up to the internet, right? So there's just some logic things to remember. But for the most part, this thing will stay there with little or no activity for an hour at least. So nice little thing for you to digitize your open houses. All right, so when the customer, so David asked the question, when the customer hits submit, does the agent deliver a thank you? Yes, I responded to that one. I think you typed that question right as I was saying that. So Stephanie, can you customize the response email to the visitor? Not at this time. This is something we've only had out for 3 or 4 months. And I can look in our system across the country. We've got about 50,000 agents on our platform. And I can see 2,000 to maybe 4,000 leads coming in every Saturday from this form. So I know people are using it. I know it's awesome. The next step will be for us to give you a little data behind the form. Okay, how many people came to an open house and show you some sortable data that you can show your seller. That'll be in Q1 or Q2 of next year. And then we'll also have for next year the ability for you to choose what kind of form. We'll have multiple forms and custom respond your email, custom design or whatever you want to say, the responder email. So those will be coming in phase 2 next year. For now, this works great, and it will certainly get you guys a lot of leads if you're doing a regular open house thing, and it'll be really beneficial for a lot of people. So we're seeing this as being just a huge deal. And again, 2 simple business tools, guys, just 2 simple things. Open house lead registration, for those of you, even if you only sit, 10 open houses a year or 5 open houses a year, this will get 50, 60, 70 people on your platform that you would have never gotten in there in the first place. Most of you probably wouldn't have, right? And the second thing is the flyer builder. A lot of you have, big 4-page flyers, multi-million-dollar homes. That's great. It's not meant to be a solution for there. You've got Design Center for that with at Remax Main Street, the Improv system. That's a phenomenal system. You have all sorts of other little pieces. This is meant to be exactly what it was. Simple, crisp, nice-looking flyers, 6 different templates, all customizable, very, very fast, and you can brand it to yourself. So keep those exactly, as they're supposed to be, and I think that you'll be super happy.